What, my fellow app drivers? Driver Man here. I'm Jose. Welcome back to the channel. So, Uber and Lyft are basically betting that self-driving cars will lead them eventually to profitability. Essentially, they're putting their eggs in that basket, so to speak, because they believe that by getting rid of human drivers, that it will grossly cut their operating costs. So they're basically the key to Uber and Lyft's future. However, MIT doesn't think that self-driving cars will be profitable due to the fact that they still feel, in their opinion, based on their research, that the operating costs will still be higher than personal car ownership, despite the fact that there would be less or zero human drivers that they have to pay. Um, so they did this in San Francisco. Obviously, Uber and Lyft both lose a lot of money. According to their IPO filing, together they lost $3.8 billion in 2018, which seems a little bit high to me. I thought it was a billion from, I'm sorry, 1.8 billion from Uber and a billion from Lyft, which would be 2.8. But I could be wrong. A lot of investors, of course, are believing that there will be profit because of the massive expense that would be eliminated in the driver people. But this research, which was done in San Francisco, believes that even though that the possibility of them having enough of these robo taxis on the road to keep up with demand, because obviously people are, constantly requesting and trying to get these rides. And at first, they're not going to have enough to keep up with this. Definitely not. But even at the point where they do, if they have like millions of these cars available for people to request, that it still would not allow them to be profitable. Hey, Jim Siegel. How you doing, buddy? So their data believes that there's a cost. There will be a cost between $1.58 and $6.01 per mile to operate these robo taxis with single occupants, which is a lot higher than the widely used 40 cents per mile estimate, and higher than the average cost of car ownership, which is supposed to be about 59 cents per mile, according to transportation statistics from the US Bureau. And apparently they say that Uber and Lyft currently pay drivers up to $2 per mile in some of the more expensive cities like New York. Yeah, I would say, definitely there, because it's that's not happening here. We're not getting any $2 per mile here in LA. I'll tell you that right now. But they did this little chart here, and I think that it's interesting because this is supposed to be the future, right? These, robo taxi autonomous cars, and then, them not having to pay the human drivers. But this research from MIT, it's very interesting. Hey, Aptopreneur, what's up, buddy? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's just interesting to see that. So there's this little chart. I'm gonna see if you can actually see it on camera here. I guess maybe you can vaguely read that, but it's got these calculations as far as licensing, vehicle financing, insurance, maintenance, cleaning, fuel, safety oversight, profit, and then, of course, the fare. So interesting research. They're basically throwing cold water onto their whole fire of future dollars, big dollars for the investors of Wall Street. But yeah, I came across that and I thought that was interesting, so I wanted to bring that to your guys' attention. That's the main topic that I wanted to cover today. There are various other things that I've made videos on earlier today, which I'm going to be releasing a little bit later tonight / tomorrow. So keep an eye out for those. But I'm probably going to log off in a little bit here. But before I do, let me say hello to you awesome people. Jim Siegel, Yeah, it's possible. It's funny, Jim Siegel, that you say that because according to, well, you'll see this in one of my upcoming videos, but Lyft has done some very forward movement in Las Vegas as far as the self-driving service. And according to them, about, I think it said it was 92% or 90% of people were actually comfortable in these cars and actually felt hella safe riding in these cars, getting above a 4.95 rating altogether. So, yeah, according to that experience, which was done over the last year, specifically in Vegas, teamed up with a company called Aptiv, apparently that is showing that people are liking it. So while a lot of people may not, based at least in that market, it is seems to be a go. So I guess we'll see. But you could be right. A lot of people probably don't. Hey, Afterpreneur, what's up, buddy? Up late like me. Well, actually, this isn't really that late. 11 p.m. really isn't that late, and you're in the same time zone as me. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, people love being driven around, of course. I mean, whenever I've taken an Uber or Lyft, I've enjoyed it. I mean, driving, especially in a town like LA or New York, is just a pain in the butt. So it's like, if I can avoid that stress of driving myself in that traffic and just sit in the passenger seat, I mean, yeah, it's still a pain that you're not moving quickly, but at least you're not like the one having to uh, deal with it as the driver. You're not in control of trying to figure out, oh, how can we fix this? Or, should I take the next exit and take, street roads, side roads and avoid this? You don't have to worry about that because you can just sit there and, lolly, lolly, lolly. You don't have to watch out for bad drivers, lazy drivers, careless drivers, aggressive drivers. You basically leave that um, on the Uber or Lyft driver, which is nice. So yes, people do love. Absolutely, I completely agree. Entrepreneur people love to be driven around, and even if it does cost more money, because I mean, Uber and Lyft obviously cost more than public transportation. Um, and people are still doing it. It's not much more, but it is still more, and people are doing it. So, people who would normally not even go somewhere or would just say, "Screw it, I'm staying home," are like going out and doing more things because, oh, I don't have to worry about traffic. I don't have to worry about parking. I mean, just think of like all the busy areas where you have to pay for parking, especially like downtown LA, downtown New York, any like busy major city where you don't have to worry about that. It's quite a lifesaver. So yes, I myself, have been willing to pay more for, Uber and Lyft just for the convenience of not having to worry about that. So it makes perfect sense. Absolutely. Yeah, Jim Siegel, maybe it won't. Is that where you reside? I kind of do, but no, it's more like the west south. I'm South LA, but that's not technically the South. That's for sure. Um, let's see. Yeah, maybe so. Maybe not enough people would be excited about it. Entrepreneur, as you're saying, people who are a little more affluent financially, fiscally, seem to be the ones more excited about it in this whole, yeah, self-driving technology. And of course, they're excited about probably because they're more likely to be the ones who are invested in the stock. They want to see the profit, of course. So they're like, They're hoping for it. Come on, come on. Let my investment work. Oh, right. Um, Angelo Swain. Hey, 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 what up? Welcome back from Vegas. Okay. Yeah, my Lyft video, which I'll be releasing a little bit later, is about something that was done in Vegas. Okay, I'll start doing that now. Don't forget to read the responses out loud for the viewers who will watch this later. Yeah, maybe some people do like that. I wasn't sure. I was watching some of my previous ones and I'm like seeing that, like, well, I mean, it's there, the chat replay, they can read what I'm responding to. So I started to like question whether or not I should actually read what you guys are writing out loud, because people can read it. So do I need to say it out loud? But what's your take on that? Apparently you think I should just say them out loud like I was before, when I was second guessing myself and started to not do that in this one. Okay. Georgia, Alabama. Okay, yeah, you're definitely in the South then, Jim Siegel. Rick Reviews. Hey, buddy. Chilling, bro. It's slow for me on PM. Oh, Postmates. Okay. Yeah, and I don't know. Did they cut the rates there as well? Because I mean, they really knocked them like 2 times in a row here in LA, and it's got a lot of people peeved. So I'm wondering, did they do that there too? People here might steal them for scrap metal money. Yeah, if they can get their hands on them. Yeah, I mean, there's thieves everywhere. There's always going to be thieves. My buddy, actually, now that you mention that, I have a friend who texted me a little earlier today asking me if I knew anybody whose couch he could crash on for a little bit, because he had an RV and it was stolen. And when the police found it, it had been burnt basically to a crisp by the time that the cops got to it. So the cops are saying they believe that what happened was these crooks were like cooking meth, maybe had an explosion, and that's what happened. We don't know, but yeah, I mean, it's just it's really annoying, very aggravating. I had some items stolen from my car recently as well. It's just very aggravating for these people to steal from others. The things that you actually worked for. Somebody comes and just takes them when you're the one who worked for it and earned it, so that you could use it, not for some dickhead to come and take it. It's very frustrating, even if it's just like a little something. It could be not that high of a value of money. It could maybe be $50 worth of stuff. Overall, yes, get over it, move on. But just the notion that they took something that's yours, it's just very aggravating, very, very aggravating. So yeah, I definitely feel for my friend, and his situation is much, much worse. I have no idea how much like he lost, but it's definitely a lot more than the amount that I lost recently. But yeah, people will take whatever they can. Rick Reviews. I would read. Sometimes I just listen and don't watch. Okay, good to know. Personal experience, of course. Okay. Well, it's funny now that you mention that, Afterpreneur. There are times where, actually this morning was gym day. I'm at the gym. And I've got my headphones in, so obviously when I'm lifting the barbell, I can't be watching on my phone. And you post like daily, and so like I was on, and in my feed I see your video, and yeah, I turn it on, I wait, I wait for the ad to start for 5 seconds so I can skip the ad, and because I don't want to listen to the ad while I'm lifting this heavy thing, so I skip the ad, and then yeah, and then just let it play, and I'm listening to what you're saying while I'm doing my thing, because I want to hear what you have to say, because I always like to hear what you have to say, and I can do that while I'm lifting weights. So it's a good point. Now that I think about that, I believe I will just go ahead and read all these bad boys out loud, so everybody can hear them. Oh, they did do that here as well. So yes, in Vegas they also hacked the Postmates rates. Very frustrating, very frustrating. They don't seem to give a crap about the customers either. I know they've screwed over, a lot of customers as well. As far as I've heard stories of them telling people who didn't receive their order. Oh, well, that's between you and the courier. They are hired from a third party. They're a third party contractor. So what happens between you and them, that's, between you and them. Wow. So you guys are like taking no responsibility for the courier that contracted for that gig of delivering that food to that person. No, you're not, you're not caring about it. You're just saying, oh, that's up to them. So a courier could just keep the food and leave, and you don't care. That's their problem. Okay, interesting. I mean, obviously, I would assume, like, after doing that a couple times, you would release that courier. Fired. But yeah, that's still kind of like is saying, to the customer, come on. So we all know Uber and Lyft love their customers, So interesting tactic by Postmates, who's been around less time than Uber, but still a while. Not as long as Grubhub, that's for sure. Okay, rate cuts affected us also. It sucks big time. Yeah. Rick reviews. Okay, talking to Entrepreneur. Hey, Entrepreneur, your celebrity status in the YouTube world. Yeah, he is. Jim Siegel. Every day for me. Laugh out loud. Okay. Oh, I mean, like every day is just another day for you? Nathan Scott. Oh, hey, Nathan Scott. Laugh out loud. Nobody's responsible for the food. Yeah, it's like, really? That's nuts. Because I know when I'm doing these guys, if a customer doesn't get their food, usually it's because I get there and it's like, for example, an apartment building, and they didn't leave in the notes and like an access code or how to get in, right? And I'm calling, hey, I can't get into your building, and there's no answer. I call customer care, they call and they can't get a hold of them either. So there's no way for me to get in. So eventually, after 5, 6, 7 minutes, whatever, they say, oh, just go ahead and move on, mark it as delivered. So I do. But sometimes I will get a call from customer care later on saying, hey, the customer called back. They're wondering if you're still close by. They're there now. And I never really have been, so far I've never been able to. I've always like been on my next order and already been in like another area or at the next restaurant. And so it's like, it's too late, but I heard some people, I guess if they argue enough, Grubhub will give them either their money back or they'll give them like a credit, because I've had some customers. Here was a little loophole. I don't know how this happened, but there was more than one occasion where I left with a customer's order because I didn't get a response or I couldn't get in, whatever. And the customer somehow had my personal cell number and called me and was like, oh, hey, yeah, we didn't get the food. We called Grubhub and they said that, they're not going to give us our money back. And so they're like, can you bring us back the food, even if it's cold or whatever? I had somebody say that. And another guy called me up. I had left a little while ago, and he's like, oh, were you just calling the number there? That's my wife's number. Crap, I was supposed to put my number. And he was like, shit, damn, you've already left? I was like, yeah, sorry. And he's like, shit. And then I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm already like, gone. And he's like, damn. And he's like, okay. But yeah, in instances like that, I'm wondering, like, do they sometimes give them I think they do. I've heard some cases where they will, but a lot of times they haven't. I've heard this from customers themselves saying, oh, they're not going to pay me back. Thanks for enjoying my money. I actually had a girl say that to me the other day. She texted me, oh, enjoy my meal and my money. Okay, well, I'm sorry you didn't leave me any notes of how to reach you. I called multiple times. No response. What are you going to do? Should they get their money back? It's debatable. I mean, I would expect to get my money back for a service that I didn't receive. Yeah, if you buy something, a service or a product, and you don't receive it, technically, ethically, logistically, yes, you should get your money back. But if it's kind of like you should have been aware. You ordered food. You should be ready. Somebody is going to be coming to you. You live in an apartment building. It's locked. They don't know how to get in, and you didn't leave notes. You didn't think of that, of the role of the driver coming, getting to the gates at that point when they have your food, and like, okay, how do I get this food to you, Mr. Customer or Mrs. Customer, whatever. Apparently they don't think of that, and that's kind of their own fault, because if they were to invite a friend over, the friend, they would like figure out, how to get their friend, and, oh, hey, when you get here, just call me. I'll be waiting for you. I mean, they should be ready in that same way, just that they're waiting for their food instead of their friend. But yeah, food is important. They're hungry, they want to eat. So they should be attentive at least, in case of anything. Oh, I'm sitting here in my apartment, all nice and cozy, waiting. It's great. I'll get my food, whatever, but they don't think, okay, but how will I get my food? So it's funny. You'd think they would at least, wait on their phone and be like, okay, I didn't, they'll call me when they get here. But it's interesting that people who don't even think that, they just, they order and just. Missed call, missed call, missed call, missed call. 20 minutes later. Who's this? Oh, where's my food? So, they kind of asked for it, I suppose. Beacon of Light. Hey, buddy. Okay, I'm a little behind here. Let me get caught up with your guys' comments. I guess I will stay on a little bit longer because I guess people are here now. I covered the topic of the in the subject line, but since you guys are here, I'll at least go through this. Okay, here we go. Yeah. All right. Entrepreneur, branching out leads to more work. I tell you, yeah, I had to, I was doing just pure Uber and Lyft for the first, 3 years. And then last year I started, doing these dudes. Yeah, you got to kind of multi-app. A lot of people will tell you that. A lot of other rideshare and delivery drivers will tell you that. You got a multi-app, like, if you're doing rideshare, run both apps, Uber and Lyft. If you're doing, delivery, run, DoorDash and Grubhub at the same time, or Postmates and DoorDash at the same time, whichever one throws you some, money first, boom, then you turn it off, go. Yeah, it makes sense. Got to hustle. Okay. Rick reviews. Oh, are you heading out? Later app? Smiley face. Oh, are you still here? Okay. Angelo Swain Hubbard. I've gotten that impression also, driver man, about Postmates. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Good to know I'm not the only one. Yeah, interesting. I stuck around through to listen to this great story, though. Good. Thank you. It's nice that, you're listening to, one of my spiels here after I've listened to so many of yours. No, it's I'm actually flattered that you're here. Seriously, I know you're a busy dude. You post more than I do, so thank you. But it's about time. Okay. Beacon of Light, what's up? The funniest thing was told to me when I called a customer about a gate. They told me I don't give out the code. Just wait for someone to arrive and follow them in. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, so I'm supposed to just hope that somebody shows up to go in and then just, sneak in. And what if they see me and maybe, they're just one of those weird people like you see in some of those YouTube videos that don't even let people that actually live in the effing place in, let alone what if they're one of those people and I don't even live there? So that's even more of a probability that they're going to go wacko on me and be like, oh, ask me, oh, do you live here? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't let you in because I see that you're holding a DoorDash bag or a Grubhub bag or a Postmates bag, but I don't know if, maybe you're just, posing, I don't know if you're really, I just don't want to take the chance. So I'm not going to let you in. Could be that could happen. Then, Mr. Customer, your food's just getting colder. So, I mean, if you don't want to give us the code, fine, but at least come down and get it because you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm sitting here and your food is just getting colder and colder and colder. So, unless you like, lovely fresh food, not as hot as it could be, you might want to come down. Rick reviews. I did a delivery and the security desk didn't let me go to the room. I've had that happen before too. I abandoned the food with the security and left. Last delivery I ever did. Yeah, I've done that before. Sometimes some hotels actually won't let you go up. Okay. And sometimes what they'll do is they'll call the person, and sometimes I'll wait. Sometimes I'll wait, depending on how long it seems like, oh, I'll be there in a minute. And if they're down within a couple minutes, okay, I'm willing to wait a couple minutes and hand it to them. And, sometimes they'll give you a little extra cash tip, even if they have already tipped on the apps where you can see that they're tipped, like Grubhub and I think you can see it on DoorDash now. I think they just made that change where you can see it ahead of time. So like, sometimes they'll still give you a cash tip in addition. I've had that happen sometimes. Some customers have tipped me cash on top of the in-app tip. But most don't. I mean, if they've already tipped in the app, most don't, which is fine. They tipped. But yeah, I mean, there's always those people who put 0 tip. And those are the orders, of course, like, especially with Grubhub, they get bounced around because they're like, oh, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. And it just goes from driver to driver. And but sometimes they do tip in cash, a lot of times, sometimes they don't, maybe it's 50-50, you'll get there and, sometimes, you get to the hotel, you wait for them to come down, 0 tip on the app. And then they show up and thank you. And you're like, you're hoping that they did, I could have just left it with security here and taken off and, save my time, my, 4 or 5 minutes of time. But yeah, a lot of times I'll wait for the chance that when they come down, if they haven't tipped, or if I'm doing, say, Postmates where I don't know, I'm hoping that they will. Or if they don't give me cash, that they'll tip afterwards, that they'll remember, hopefully, and tip afterwards. Although, honestly, a lot of times they don't. Borderline, I think, even leaning more towards most of the time, in my experience, they don't tip, which is lame-o. But yeah, with a service, depending on the service, I'm willing to wait, a certain amount of time in the chance that they might tip, because sometimes they do, and it's like, oh, here's $5, great, okay, cash. Don't even have to report that. Cash is king. Cash is always worth waiting for, unless it's just like $1. Okay, but yeah, I feel your Rick reviews. Okay, let me catch up here. Where am I? How behind? I can't be that behind. Okay, maybe I'm a little bit. Rick reviews, Beacon. Hey, okay, good. Nathan Scott. As a customer, I've had refunds from Uber Eats and Deliveroo, but always because the food is really late. Okay, good. Deliveroo. Are you in the UK, Nathan Scott? I don't think Deliveroo exists. I don't believe Deliveroo exists here in the US. Last time I checked. I'm going to assume you're in the UK, because I know they have Uber Eats there. And Deliveroo, who Amazon just invested $575 million into, so that they could give Uber Eats a run for their money over there, and eventually, I'm sure, expand here. Love your work, by the way. Oh, geez, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's nice to hear that from a customer. I don't know how many customers actually watch my content. I know a lot of my fellow app drivers do, whether they, be doing rideshare or delivery. I know a lot of them do. But I don't know how many customers watch me in general. So I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate that you can see, the other side's perspective, Okay, customers getting their money back. We could tell them that it is between them and the app. like the restaurant apps do us. Well, I mean, ultimately we do. I mean, it's not in our hands. We're just the middle, we're just the middleman. So that, I mean, that's what we do. In those couple times where the customer has somehow by mistake had my personal cell number and called me, I was like, well, I'm not really sure. Uh, I apologize for the inconvenience. That's really up to them. I'm just the middleman. I'm just the delivery guy. I don't have control over giving you money back. Anybody who can do that, it would be the company. You just call them and plead your case and let them know what happened, and hopefully they can give you something, maybe a voucher for your next meal, something. But I can't give you anything, unfortunately. And that's just the way it is. You just have to be honest and tell them that. Uber and Tampa, what's up, Sana boy? I know, dude. It's so hot in here, but I'm loving it. I'm sweating out all the germs. Welcome, Uberman Tampa, to my live stream sauna. Okay. Rick reviews. I hated delivery. I once saw a large tip that all went to the restaurant. They don't share with drivers. I didn't even know they could tip the restaurant. I'm assuming maybe there is a way, but like a guy that I delivered to last night, when I delivered to him, he asked me, oh, hey, by the way, that 20% tip, does that go to you or to the restaurant? I said, oh, it goes to me. She's like, good, because that's, they want it to go to us. The customer does want, because we're the ones driving, in our car, spending our gas to bring it to them. I'm sure a lot of people know that. The restaurant workers, they're just there, Not that, they're not doing a good job. They did a good job. They prepared the food, but they're being paid by the hour. We just get paid just for that job and depend on gratuity to make it make sense. You need to recover the investment of the gas, the wear and tear on the tires, brakes, oil changes, yada, 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 yada. Like Elaine says in Seinfeld about sex. I don't know if you guys remember that episode or have seen Seinfeld. Yeah, I've yada yada sex. Okay. The Entrepreneur, you're welcome. Thank you. Beacon of Light, stay lit drivers. Hey, Kevin. Hey, Uberman Tampa Beacon, how are you? Oh, I just marked them as not available. Okay. Yeah, that's all you can do. Uberman Tampa, no gate code, no food. Yeah. And moved on. Yeah, I mean, you have to, What are you going to do? You can't stand there forever. You don't get paid for your time, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, maybe, If they tipped well, I'll tell you what, I will wait up to 9 minutes. That's kind of like my thing. I'll share that with you guys. I'm willing to wait up to 9 minutes. I won't go double digits, but I will wait up to 9 minutes if they tipped well to try to get a hold of them and see if they call me back. But if they've tipped like zero or like $1 or $2, I'll be honest, in 5 minutes, 6 minutes is probably the cutoff time. I will usually head off by then, because I gotta keep moving and making money. I can't wait there forever. I have to look at it as a business. It's nothing against the customer. I appreciate that you at least tipped, $2. Sometimes I'll tip $2. Like if I go to a bar and just have one beer, the beer was $8. I'll tip $2, 25%, whatever. It's only $2, but it's, it was only one beer. Yeah. So, I mean, I appreciate that, you're still tipping, probably a proper percentage. Maybe you ordered for one person, because I get that a lot. You'll get, an order for Taco Bell, 3 gorditas and, the crunchy cinnamon twists and a drink. That's probably just one person. Tip $2. Okay. I get it. But I still can't wait forever for you. I understand that the tip is appropriate based on your percentage, but for me, fiscally, because there are other bigger orders out there waiting for me, and I'm doing this to make money for myself and my family, I got to keep it moving. You go to work as well to make money. I work to make money. We got to earn a living. We got to pay the bills. So um, if you didn't feel that I waited long enough for you, take it up with Grubhub or Postmates, DoorDash, whoever, whatever company, Uber Eats that you ordered from, and I hope that they give you your money back. Otherwise, if you're angry, then I apologize. Okay. Speaking of lie, Uberman Tampa, very well. Hi, and whoops, I went too far. I'm going too far. Geez, you guys are really active, man. It's exciting. I am tired from all the third floor apartments for Amazon today. Oh, were you doing Amazon Flex today? Okay. Yeah, I've done that many times. Many times. I've done probably close to 500 deliveries for them. Yeah, I've done many shifts for them. Not a bad deal. It's not great. But I mean, I'll do that over Uber, any day, specifically Uber. Yes. Maybe Lyft now too. Lyft is starting to get kind of bad too. Ay. But yeah, I would, if I had to choose between the two, I would do, Amazon deliveries over doing Uber rides for that particular day. That's just me. To each his own. Some people don't want to have to deal with the hassle of parking and picking up a package and stuff like that. I don't think it's too bad. Okay, but if it's on the third floor, yeah, that can be a pain. That can be a pain. All right. Dave the Slave just says, Beacon, he's cool like that. Dave the Slave is a cool guy, yeah. Driver man, are you sitting in a sauna with a blanket on your legs? Nope. I'm just wearing my camo shorts. No blanket here. No, I mean, I'm sitting on a comforter, so I'm sitting on a blanket, I guess you could say. But no, if I was in a sauna with a blanket over my legs, I'd probably be pouring sweat. I only want to drip a little bit, because I'm not that toxic today. Let's see. Beacon of Light. Rick reviews. Yes, but you need the lights. Yeah. Will DoorDash or Grubhub, if they don't tip on the order, they're not going to? Half the time, Uberman Tampa, for me, in my experience, is 50-50. It's 50-50 shot. A lot of them have. I had that happen, I want to say Saturday night. Yeah. There was an order that came through, and I think it was only like $5 or something like that. And normally I reject those without question. But I was looking at the location. The restaurant was literally like 2 blocks away from me. You know what I ended up doing? My car was already parked because I had just dropped off some food. I just walked up. I was like, oh, I'll just save my gas for these 2 blocks and the startup, whatever gets burnt in the start. And yeah, I walked up, got the order, walked back to my car, the 2 blocks, and they were, I think, just a couple minutes away. So I was like, okay, yeah, it's only $5, but I'm only spending maybe $1, maybe, after all this, because I'm only driving less than 5 minutes to get them. So I'm spending maybe a quarter, maybe, 25 cents in gas, something like that. So, if I take away, the 25 cents both ways, let's say 50 cents, plus the, 3 minutes of walking there, 3 minutes of walking back to my car. Let's just call that another, I don't know, maybe $1. Yeah, $5 minus $1. I'm $4, maybe just over $4, just under $4. I'm still making money. I mean, the idea is to make, more of a profit than $3 on an order. You don't want to just, be profiting $3, but because it was right there, I was like, screw it. I'm making, it was probably close. It was probably probably closer to 4, because the gas was not that much. I calculate out roughly what I spend during a day. And if I was driving for 2 minutes, it was probably 25 cents. So, yeah, it was at least $4. So, not bad for just walking up, driving over, whatever. The whole shebang probably took 10, 15 minutes of my time. So I made $4 in, 15 minutes, or $4 in 10 minutes. I could be making more, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad. Oh, you're in Australia. What up, man? Hey, mate. Wow, all the way from Australia. Thank you for joining. Never been to Australia, but I mean, I meet them. There's a lot of Australians here in LA, particularly actors like myself. They move here all the way from there to chase, a career in the entertainment industry. Yeah, a lot of Australians here, a lot, and they're cool people. I like them. Very nice people. I like the accent, especially on the women. I don't know, for some reason, the girls with the Australian accent, I don't know, kind of sexy, I think. I like it. Hey, I'm an app driver too. I do food deliveries exclusively. Okay. How is that over in Australia? Never worked in Australia. Like I said, never been there. I like to visit. Some beautiful views there. Okay. Beacon of Light. Hey, Nathan Scott. Are there any delivery apps with jobs available? No scheduling, as in hourly schedules. Oh, without scheduling, just wondering. Oh, you mean they're in Australia? He would know. Australia, we have Uber Eats. Okay. Deliveroo and Menu Log. Okay. Of those three, only Uber Eats does no scheduling. Okay. So Deliveroo, you guys do, that works as on blocks like Grubhub and DoorDash do. Okay. Interesting. Didn't know that. Thanks for the info, of course. Paxties on Hayes in San Francisco took the whole tip a couple years ago when Uber Eats was new. Lame. Okay. Beacon of Light, driver, $5 tip should be mandatory. I know, right? That's a decent tip. $5 is always a decent, I would say in general, a good decent tip. That's the type of tip that I would wait downstairs in the lobby for somebody for, definitely. For me, anything over 5 is a good tip. That'd be nice. Nice to have that as a minimum. Probably not going to happen, but that would be nice. But yeah. I mean, I get a lot of people that tip, $8, $10, just my opinion. It would help out drivers extremely, of course. People often can mistake Dave. Okay. Dave is Super Dave. All right. Yeah, I met him briefly at the strike. I don't know him that well yet myself. He seemed like a nice dude. I know he even recorded me for a little bit. But I don't know if he actually put it up. Well, at least he hasn't told me. But yeah, he seemed like a nice dude. I don't know him that well, but he seemed like a nice guy. I'll check out his channel again today or tomorrow. A lot of cool driver channels out there. Yeah, the more the better. Need places for drivers to get together. Yeah, there's a lot of good driver channels out there. Absolutely. We've got Dustin is driving. He's a cool dude. Driver Lady Pro. She's a nice lady. Who else is good? Let's see. There's a guy named Gig Coach Jake, which covers a lot of the delivery apps. He does them himself. So he has his own personal experience with doing them. He seems like a pretty cool dude. Pete with Paid to Drive. I watch his videos sometimes as well. Seems like a cool dude. Thumbs up the live stream, everyone. Oh, sure, please. If you have not yet, yeah, go ahead and squish it. If you are watching. He is a very great dude. Yeah, he puts you in the driver's seat. Amazing. Cool. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, 45-minute mark. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. I'm gonna be uploading a few more videos later tonight. At least one, probably late tonight, and one tomorrow at some point. Yeah, stay tuned. Thanks for coming by, all of you. Rick Hughes, Afterpreneur, Beacon of Light, Jim Siegel, Nathan Scott out in Australia. Good day, mate. Thank you for coming by. Make sure I didn't forget anybody. There was also Angelos. Thank you for coming by as well. Uberman Tampa, always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you for being here at 2:30 a.m. out in Tampa. I know that's how late it is right there. Did I get everybody? I hope so. Anybody else that stopped by, even if you didn't say anything in the chat, thank you. I'll even type that right now. Thanks everybody for coming by, even if just briefly and or without saying anything. Thanks everybody for coming by, even if it was just briefly and or without chatting. Let's just say that. So yeah, all of you guys, thank you. Salvador Geronimo. Oh, thank you. How you doing, buddy? Thank you for coming by as well. You guys have a great rest of the night. Whenever it is you turn in, sleep well. And when you're out there driving, be safe. If you're rideshare driving, be nice to your passengers, unless they're dicks. And also, as I always say, if you're delivery driving, be nice to the restaurant workers, unless they're dicks. But in my experience, I don't think any of them have been. And be nice to the customers that you deliver to, unless they're dicks, and get that money. Good night.